Also, not looking good. Another stock to look at is Bed Bath & Beyond. A lot is happening with the stock of late with the massive moves to the upside and downside. And adding on to that, the company out yesterday with a business update like we talked about in our take, and reading a really good note by the team over at Guggenheim, led by Stephen Forbes and John Heinbockel. Now, they have a neutral rating on Bed Bath & Beyond. I get it, fair enough. But really going into what they might need to do to survive, really breaking down their cash flow usage, what cash might be needed going into the back half of the year. The overall takeaway for them is they're saying, quote, bottom line, we believe we remain in the early phases of Bed Bath's turnaround efforts with significant execution risk, especially given the unpredictable nature of the current macroeconomic environment. Also, they highlight a debt repayment, sizable one, I should say, just given where this company is, in August 2024 of almost $300 million. They're going to have to get this money from somewhere.
Long-term outlook. I mean, what term are we talking about here? Mm-hmm. And how much of this needs to be accelerated so much that they send a shockwave through the culture of the company, and either for better or for worse. For worse, you got the customers that are noticing a significant shift, or perhaps that's for better, if customers do notice a significant shift in the ability for Bed Bath & Beyond to just drive a better in-store experience. And then for worse, on the other side of the business, you've got the employees that you also need to be concerned about, how they're also being held throughout this experience too, and make sure that on the corporate culture side, as you are changing the operations, that the employees also still feel held and still feel their own equity as part of all of this too, when there are these massive cuts that are going to take place.
Absolutely. And we were just showing a graphic, just showing the mood regarding Bed Bath & Beyond for the remaining analysts on Wall Street that in fact cover this company. A lot of them don't want anything to do with Bed Bath & Beyond. They are a tough company to cover. The access isn't that great. And, as an analyst, you don't want your name necessarily plastered all over these Reddit boards. It is vile and putrid out there. So I understand where all these firms are coming from, but the sentiment is very low. And I go back to what I said in my take, Brad. Their strategy appears to be not engaging with this retail community, but maybe interim CEO of Bed Bath should give Adam Aron, the CEO over at AMC, a call. Because, again, he has done a lot of things, not what you would expect, but he has won over retail investors. And that has allowed him to come out here and raise cash and to get the business what appears to be on the other side of the pandemic. And now their strategy at Bed Bath could continue to be where they don't engage with media, they don't engage with these retail investors. They may have worked 45 years ago, but not in this hyper connected environment where social media, retail, Reddit, that is driving your stock price.
Something we were talking about in the newsroom yesterday is the annexation that all of us had at one point or another to a Bed Bath & Beyond. Whether you were getting that 20% discount in the mail or whether perhaps you had a wedding registry at Bed Bath & Beyond a decade ago, maybe 2 decades ago at this point. And then also, if you remember purchasing back-to-school items from Bed Bath & Beyond. What's the shift that's taken place? And what are the competitors that have now entered into that category, put storefronts and footprints on all of those different engagement portions, whether it's in the wedding? You've got Target that's entered firmly into that space to say, all right, we're going to be more annexed to college campuses because we know if we've got grocery, then we're just going to run a special with whatever the Dragon card is or whatever the, insert college name card here is to make sure that we've got the returning customers from that college base. If it's the wedding registries, why not people just doing a wedding registry for Target, and we bring in other third-party sellers that are going to let them amp up the type of offerings that we have on there. So all of that considered, the lunch has been getting eaten in front of them, in front of their eyes, because of the positioning of where the stores are and not shifting that quickly enough to also bring down some of the overhead costs and the sizes of the stores as well, which is just daunting.
If I was a kid today, I'm like, mommy, take me to Target. I want a nice new backpack, and I want a Beyond Meat burger. Let's leave it there. Bed Bath & Beyond doesn't sell that crap.